Next top news headlines. COVID-19 infections in Manipur continues to spike. $1.68 lakh COVID-19 new cases registered in India. An explosion kills 9 children in eastern Afghanistan. Hello, this is Pony TV giving you the latest English bulletin at 7 p.m. I'm Christina and now the news in detail. COVID-19 infections in Manipur spiked with 116 tested positive and 1 succumb in the last 24 hours. As per the Manipur COVID-19 Command Control Room, the positivity rate was recorded at 5.1%. The state's COVID tally has climbed to 126,344, while the death toll increased to 2,012. The state COVID-19 Command Control Room in a release said the new infections were detected after testing 2,283 samples in the last 24 hours. India reported 168,063 COVID-19 cases in the 24 hours ending 8 a.m. Tuesday and 277 deaths, data from the Union Ministry of Health saw. The country's Omicron tally rose to 4,461, with Maharashtra reporting the highest cases, 1,247, of the new strand, followed by Rajasthan 645 and Delhi 546. There are 8,21,446 active cases in India. The daily positivity rate is 10.64%. On Monday, 9.68 lakhs people from 3 priority groups, the elderly with comorbidities, healthcare workers, and frontline workers, were administered precautionary doses on the first day of the rollout. An explosion in eastern Afghanistan near the border with Pakistan on Monday killed 9 children and wounded 4, according to the office of a Taliban-appointed governor. A statement from the governor's office said the blast took place when a cart selling food items struck an old, exploded mortar cell in the district of Larpur in eastern Nangarhar province. No other details were immediately available. The province is the headquarters of Taliban rivals, the Islamic State group, which has staged several attacks targeting Afghanistan's new rulers since the Taliban took over the country in mid-August. However, the IS has operated in Afghanistan since 2014, carrying out dozens of horrific attacks and most often targeting the country's minority sites Muslim. Afghanistan is among the countries with the most unexploded landmines and other ordnance from the country's decade of war and conflict. When the ordnance detonates, the victims are often children, as per a media report. Security guards of Jennings protested against non-payment of salary for 12 months by the authorities of the state-run Premier Hospital on Tuesday. Speaking to the media, L. Chantan Kumari, a security guard, said they observed the protest as the authorities of Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Medical Science, Jennings, have failed to pay their salaries since 2021. The Jennings director claimed that 6 months' salaries have been handed over to the Director of Eastern Security Service, ESS, but the latter negated the claim.
Chahi ama phajale ba tolo phangjaba hauji hauji 2021 dagina hauji hauji phogse tolo phangjriba khoige adugi damakta akhoigi tolo se pithok piyu na haibegi neba matamdi yam thengda gare akhoina tawjariba se pirani yarani haibadugi sum ngaijarakone haiba khudingmakse sum tabiraktabadagi upai lemandabadagi akhoi ngasi gi khongjangje lakjaban.
Doctors for You team, in collaboration with Ekta Parisad, Manipur under CMO and DF of Bisnupur, conducted a COVID vaccination drive at Tinungay Market Set in Bisnupur district on Tuesday. The vaccination drive was led by Dr. Sonia. She talked about the importance of vaccination. Many individuals and NGOs have been taking a big role in carrying out COVID vaccination drive under the Manipur government. A condolence meeting on untimely demise of Dr. Chingakam Manoranjan Singh was held at Tuesday at Biochemistry Department of Manipur University. The faculty members and non-teaching staff of Biochemistry Department of Manipur University observed a 1-minute silence to pay homage to the departed soul and pray for his soul to rest in peace in his heavenly abode. The department is deeply saddened by his untimely demise and left a vacuum which would be hard to fill up and is a great loss for the department, a release said. Dr. Chingakam Manoranjan Singh was associated with the department for the last several years as a visiting professor. The department deeply mourns the irreparable loss and shares the grief and anguish of the bereaved family, the release said. A voluntary blood donation camp was organized by Indian Red Cross Society IRCS Infal East District Branch at Jennings Blood Bank on Tuesday. Talking about the camp, coordinator of IRCS Infal East, Brahmachari Mayum Rosie said, IRCS has been continuously donating blood and date for the year 2022. Today's was the first blood donation camp to be organized by the society. She said one's blood can save someone's life and that there is no harm in donating blood. She also said it is needless to fear while donating blood. Around 30 people donated blood in today's camp.
pibase hobada ngairibako aduna khoina tawbadi 25 mo expect tawbani ado lakpa matamda piba yadaba khogi hangsang kitang naramba de ni case leramba yaur kanda adu sabsabi di hozik keno loidribani na ai samak su pizza doini ai hozi keno ai keno truna bangai jerini aduna dumaina de expect tawe adu sabsabi khangdri haidi horen loira kanda ko makhoina pazabadi 25 Pazayamna Maghadi Mamang the Queen of Pibase 21 the Pibasimi 40 they give 50 30 Smaina Loin Pibako Aduida Huzixi Anaba Bexin Gapo Bakudribiauba Adegi Narakpa Yauba ID na look Kagato Pibia Dabado Fever Gumbatobasum and the minor Praktaba donors in Karayau Bonamaram Oraga and the Kissim Queen 25 most spectosary.
Let's take a short break. Stay tuned.
Karigumba dom yumda laiba anabasingi hidakapa dressing tauba blood sample loba rice tube hapa catheterization hapa enema tobinaba experience lairaba nurse amati doctor thibada awaba thengnabirabadi wabiraganu Medland Home Nursing Care Service Manipurna kungkun mari chukna adom yumda latuna hidakapa injection piba dressing tauba feeding tube hapa catheter hapa amadi makhal kya ge anabasing experience lairaba doctor amadi nursing tuna mating pangzari akupa marol gi damak Medland gi helpline number 9205987988 amukasu 9205987988 ta call tawna tanabiu natraga Google Play Store gi Medland app download tawna booking tawi
Welcome after the break. The All Tribal Students Union Manipur Atsum said that the election notification which scheduled the date of poll on February 27, which falls on Sunday, is a matter of grave concern for the tribal people and Christian community of Manipur. Therefore, the Atsum urged the Election Commission to reschedule the date of polling of the Hill Assembly constituencies to any other convenient date which does not fall under Sunday. The ADSUM then said the tribals who contribute about 43% of the state population are predominantly Christian, and for Christians, Sunday is a day that is holy and sacred. It is a day for rest and worship. The Election Commission lacked the ability to appreciate the spiritual values, beliefs, and practices of the Christian community of the state. The tribal student body alleges aiding this apathy towards the religious sentiment of the Christian community is in fact antagonistic. The tribal students' body then said that the Election Commission must try to ensure participation of all eligible citizens to exercise their adult franchise, but its decision will instead prevent many from participating in the election, it added. A journalist from Assam's Tinsukia allegedly committed suicide by shooting himself at his house on Monday night. As per a media report, the senior journalist was identified as Bikas Morant, who was engaged as the bureau chief of a satellite news channel from Upper Assam. As per reports, Morant shot himself twice with his pistol inside his room at around 11 p.m. on Monday night. However, the incident has been seen to have some foul play by his relatives and people who are known to him. The police have started an investigation, and this pistol which he used for allegedly killing himself has been recovered. It may be mentioned that Moran was one of the senior journalists in Assam and has a record of working with several major media houses in the state. In a setback to ruling Bharatiya Janata Party in poll-bound Uttar Pradesh, Cabinet Minister in Yogi government Swami Prasad Mauryan tendered his resignation and joined Samajwadi Party. Mauryan, once a close confidant of BSP chief Mayawati, who served as cabinet minister during the BSP regime, had left BSP alleging outsourcing of party tickets just before 2017 polls, only to join BJP later on. A four-term MLA, Maurya was leader of opposition in the UP Assembly when he left BSP on Tuesday. Maurya resigned from the cabinet through a letter to Uttar Pradesh Governor Anandiben alleging neglects of Dalits, backwards, farmers, unemployed youth as well as small traders in the present government. Wives of mid-ranking officers in the Myanmar military were asked to undergo military training. As per reports, some officers and their wives have claimed this. The spouses of captains and majors of the military are being trained at the battalions in Yin O Wind in Mandalay region as well as in Taungi and Angband in San State. Their training started on Monday and will take place for 2 weeks. During the training, they will be taught the use of small arms and some heavy weapons and basic military tactics. They will be trained as the forces in Myanmar are experiencing a shortage of human resources following the recent military coup. The training is for wives of the captain to major rank officers. Although the training is the mid-level officers, wives of lieutenant colonel have been excluded as lieutenant colonel are head of battalions. A man in Maryland was successfully implanted with a genetically modified pig heart at the University of Maryland Medical School. As per a statement by the university, the 57-year-old man, David Bennett, is doing well 3 days after receiving the genetically modified pig heart in first of its kind transplant surgery. The statement said that Bennett had terminally heart disease and the pig heart was the only currently available option for him. He, according to his medical records, was said to be ineligible for a conventional heart transplant or an artificial heart pump. Along with that, another gene was taken out to prevent excessive pig heart tissue growth. Following this, 6 human genes were inserted for immune acceptance. Bennett will now be monitored for a few weeks to trace if the transplant worked well, according to a media report. Before we wrap up, once again the top news headlines. COVID-19 infections in Manipur continues to spike. $1.68 lakh COVID-19 new cases registered in India. An explosion kills 9 children in eastern Afghanistan. Thank you for watching Pony TV English News.